Back on the Inside Wisconsin show, in between segments with our guy Owen Miller. Time for another top 5 list. Presented by Wisconsin's best engineering school, the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. UW-Platteville offers an affordable engineering program, and its graduates stay in Wisconsin, driving innovation at top companies right here at home. Find out more at uwplatt.edu/engineering. Not an engineer. I don't know how those guys do it. That is a completely separate person.
Those dudes are problem solvers. That's what those guys are.
They don't talk much. All right, top 5 list time. J.A., we're going to preview, or not preview, we're going to look at your gloves later, but this is a lefty thing. You're a lefty. You're partial to the south paws. Well, who are, in your book, the top 5 lefties in Brewers history?
Right, so I'm listening to Owen, and I think, okay, everybody's got a plan to get you out. Well, the first plan you should have in a major league to get somebody out is be left-handed. That's the best thing. And I've always prided myself on that. Like, I'm getting loose right now, even though I've had shoulder surgery before when we come through. So as always, when I do a top 5 like this, and so I asked you guys, what about just the top 5 lefties that I think are Brewer? Some of it is personal, but give me the top 5 lefties and just indulge me because I'm left-handed. And that was at a time where finding a left-handed glove was terrible. And half the time they drowned you because they thought you were a witch or a warlock. It was a tough time growing up as a left-handed as a kid. So I thought I have some distinct memories of great Brewer left-handers. So here it is. As always, there's going to be a tie for 5th.
Sure.
And then there are guys who don't make the list because
honorable mentions,
need to get mentioned. So the first honorable mention, I thought about telling myself since I, threw out a first pitch one time, and I thought, what about John? I did not make the list. Sadly,
okay, good.
I threw a strike, but I did not make the list. The guy that mostly didn't make the list was way down, and the worst guy that's on the list. Do you know who Clyde Wright is?
No.
Clyde Wright is the only Brewer pitcher that ever lost 20 games.
Oh wow, lefty.
Yeah, and he was a lefty, and he was like 9-20 in 1974. So we're just going to shout out to him. He went out there. He took the shots on teams that weren't great. He went out every 5th day. He was a 20-game winner with the Angels. He won 20, but he's the only guy that ever lost 20 games in a season for the Brewers. So Clyde Wright is a lefty.
Good run.
Wright is lefty. So Billy Travers is on my list. He was a great forkballer from when I was a kid. When they first started, he was kind of there on the cusp, but mostly he was underappreciated guy, but was part of that rotation for a long time. Larry Sorensen, Jim Slate, and Jim Colburn. He was in there with that. Brett Suter just got thrown off the list. He was going to be on the list. Great guest, super fun. Love the Jim Carrey. Then he shut down the crew in Colorado. He's off the list. Get out. Love you then, not there.
Good to see you.
And the last guy that should be on the list and needs to be like honorable mention is Jerry Augustine.
Yeah.
Great left-hander, pitched for a decade.
Born.
Has been with the team forever. Born in Kewanee, pitched at lacrosse, I think. He was lacrosse, and I think Bob Wickman was Whitewater.
Yeah, that's true.
I think as I went. But so Augustine is like he's as synonymous with the Brewers as it comes since the franchise got here. And to this day is they're doing work. So Augustine he's right on the cusp.
All right.
Great middle reliever, had starts, had finish. Just what a versatile arm. I'm talking myself into making him like number 2.
Just I was going to say.
Okay, so number 5, here we go.
It's 2 number 5s.
Yeah. 2 number 5. As always, there's a tie for 5th. There's room for that. There's 5A and 5B. 2 great relievers. Dan Plesac.
Yeah.
Lefty, all-time saves leader for Brewers. So that seems easy. And you get to see Plesac on the TV now once in a while.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you remember Bob McClure.
I know the name, but I don't remember him. I definitely remember Plesac.
Great left-handed relief pitcher. He actually started a few games with Milwaukee, but he spent 10 years in Milwaukee and 20 in the bigs. Pitched forever. Pitched till he was like 41-ish. I don't know if he made 42. I know he was at least 40, 41. So Bob McClure, heyday. People know Bobby McClure. He is the definition of the crafty lefty.
Cool.
He is the definition of if you're left-handed, you can stay in the major leagues forever, right? You can get to the show and stay forever. He did. 20 years. Was never like a fireman's relief award guy, but just he made 70 appearances a season and was dynamite. So we love him. Number 4, I don't know if you ever heard of this guy. I like to bring names out of the blue like Clyde Wright. Number 4 is a fellow named Josh Hader.
Heard of him.
I feel like we should move on because I'm not sure you're over this still.
I'm not. Go ahead.
Because I think it was the right decision, although it turns out that it may have ruined last year's ball club.
And he's doing really well this year.
So Josh Hader, but he was a closer.
Yeah.
Long
really
hair.
Good lefty.
Yeah. So sometimes I try to look people up. I don't know that you need to look him up. Josh Hader's number 4. He arguably 3. Number 3 is kind of a personal pick. Is Juan Nieve.
Yeah, only no hitter.
Only no hitter. So he's out of the bigs by 23. His arm's gone, right? He gets hurt and can't throw. But that magical year of 87, he throws the only no hitter in that great streak when the Brewers win 13 to open the season that the Rays just matched, which was great because you got to bring it back. By the way, when they won their 9th game, they did not throw a no-hitter. They didn't have Robin Yount in the outfield making diving stabs or whatever. But so Juan Nieves, also, by the way, same alma mater as my son. He went to Avon Old Farms right here in Connecticut.
No kidding. That's cool.
Yeah, from Puerto Rico, but played ball at Avon Old Farms. They still talk about him. They have 2 major leaguers in the program, him and George Springer, who's still playing out there. George Springer-Dinger.
Hey, who caught the no-hitter?
Oh, wow. You may have gotten me. I don't think it was Charlie Moore. I think Charlie Moore would have been gone. Was it Billy Schrader?
Yeah, damn it. I was so excited. Ugh.
You know what this is?
What?
This is a cat playing with the mouse.
Yeah. Oh, you knew it right away? You just jerk.
Sure. So Juan Nieves, who didn't have a long enough career, yet, by the way, has more complete games in his 80 starts or whatever he had than anybody on the staff now, any of the guys that have won Cy Young awards. 8 complete games and 5 shutouts. Right now, that gets you to the freaking Hall of Fame.
Right.
All right, number 2, Teddy Higuera.
Yeah.
Great left-handed starter, 3rd in wins.
Large mammal.
Large guy, and it was one of the few bright spots for a while right there when he had to wear some bad hats on some poor teams.
Yeah, he did.
And do you want to guess who number 1 is?
No, I've done pretty well knowing the guys that you've mentioned so far, so I won't guess. Let's just hope I know who he is.
So this guy, by the way, his hat always looked like this. Always. He just always looked like a workman. Mike Caldwell is number 1. Okay. Mike Caldwell is 2nd all-time in wins behind Jimmy Slayton, but he's the only other guy with 100 wins, 102, so 2nd all-time there. The year Ron Guidry was amazing. And won the Cy Young. He was like 25-3. The first game he lost, by the way, was to the Brewers and Mike Caldwell. He was a horse. The 82 team that went to the World Series, he was the lead guy, and he just came out and threw every day. He's got like 80 complete games. 80. The year that he was 2nd in the Cy Young Award, he completed at least 20 or 23. He had 20 complete games. And that's when they started 40. So, maybe he was underachiever, only got through half of them. But
What's he is a complete game these days.
Yeah, complete game. Like they said, you throw 100 pitches, get through 6 innings, and allow 3 hits and no runs, they'll throw a parade for you. And I get things have changed, but I don't get how that's changed.
And they yank you in the 8th when you're throwing a no-no.
Yeah, and this idea that they have now, for so long, we don't want to damage these arms. We don't want to damage these arms. And so they scaled back how much you could throw as a kid. And some of that was also because you didn't want the best kid throwing the whole time and striking everybody out and make the game no fun. But we've babied everybody's arm to a point that now nobody can throw. Like, I think it's had this reverse effect. How about you go out and throw and strengthen the muscle and throw all the time and play long catch? And if there's some really smart coach and major leaguer that wants to argue with me, that's totally fine. I just know that people used to throw complete games like crazy. And they didn't have a pitch count. And they didn't go 100, take them out. And there are guys that some flamed out, ruined their career. I get it. But there are guys like, and Nolan Ryan's probably a genetic freak, but there were guys like that, Mike Caldwell or Pete Vukovich that played, or Jimmy Slayton, these guys, Jim Colburn that played for the Brewers, Moose Haas, all these guys. They threw complete game after complete game. They all seem to live to tell about it. And now we can't, oh my gosh, we can't do this. He's thrown 120 20 pitches, and that's the end of them. At 8, go out and play catch every day. That's the start of it. Go play catch every day. Colin didn't go out and play until it was, time for practice. It was baseball practice to him might as well have been a piano practice. Oh, this is when I go play. This is when I play the piano. Okay, from 3 to 4 on Wednesdays my piano lesson. Great. Baseball, yeah, I have baseball lessons at 3 to 4 on Tuesday and Thursday. So that's my.
You can tell we're baseball guys. This is like a 4-hour show already.
I feel like I'm angry.
All right, Owen Miller, back to you, bud.